your royal priest. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priest. M-A-double-C-A-B to the double E. B-L-O-O-D-L-I-N-E. Levi ain't my tribe, my forefathers, they live in me. Tearing off the heads of the sin and we toss the lies out to the sea. Don't win a war with 1,000 whips, just give me 2 or 3 who believe. Zealous in the laws of God, standing up to the enemies. Bold as hell, we don't flee. We stand strong like an oak tree. You saw the truth, you'll find the key. They stole our identity. Our fathers that wish were before. Say, good up your lords and go and restore. They would not be talking about Egypt no more.
Can you hear me?
They would not be talking about
Test,
Egypt
test.
no more.
I just got a text message saying you couldn't hear me. If you can hear me, give me some thumbs up. Give me a thumb up if you can hear me.
Like the Maccabees. Gaining back our image like the Maccabees. We dedicate your temple like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priests. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priests.
Feast of dedication, meditating, waiting, on the Lord to come scoop us up and show the world the saviors. Not talking acres, trying to raise the dead estate. Wanna live, you gotta separate. Ordained priest since I was yay high. I dare you even try to take mine. Sword swinging like a Tech 9. Red jeans, know the Levi's. Got some felines, best to be quiet. Scriptures biting like a mean line. 12 gates, you in Israel, you'll be denied. Move forward, no rewind. You'll be destroyed if you're defiled. Take your hands off like Nick Noah's. Judas, Simon, and Jonathan. Name the battle, will be deployed. Many are called, we need a few men. Called to remember what our forefathers did. Be zealous and let your seeds tell it. Truth fighting, they so severed. It's wartime, and I'm trying to earn me a purple medal.
War with Greeks like the Maccabees. Valiant men we beat like the Maccabees. Gaining back our image like the Maccabees. We dedicate your temple like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees.
Shalom. All praise to the Most High. First off, giving all praises to the Most High. In the name of the Son, Yahweh. Listen, if you can hear me, one more time. Turn up. It's the Deacon. You saying turn up the mic, or you just saying turn up? If you can hear me, let me try this a little different. If you can hear me, put a number 1 in the comment section. If you can hear me, put a number 1 in the comment section. You can hear me, put a number 1 in the comment section.
Well, maybe you should be. See, now impossible to respect our authority, but watch this foolish preacher become the king.
I'm just making sure I got everything right. If you can hear me, put a number 1 in the comment. Okay, all praise. I see it. Number 1. Okay, cool. All right.
Having no image and no king till I saw what a man was supposed to be.
All right. So everybody can hear me just fine. Great. All right. Shalom, family. Shalom. I'm glad everybody tuning in. We got a few minutes before everybody come on. We're just going to address a few things before they do get on. So we got a few minutes. While we're waiting, go ahead, like and share the broadcast. Let's get it circulating around Israel. Let's let the truth come out. Let's get these precepts rolling. All right, go ahead and like and share the broadcast. Also, too, if you haven't done so already, Inside the Nation Radio, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube, Inside the Nation Radio. So, if your pen ain't as fast as the precepts coming out, and I don't know how fast they're coming out, I'm just saying, if your pen not that fast, I'm going to have the edited version on YouTube. What I mean by the edited version is, as the brothers bring out the precepts, I have the precepts coming up on the screen. I have a lot of words of what's being said on the screen. Pause, take your time, go back and read some more, read them precepts for yourself, So if you haven't done so, go ahead and like and share the broadcast, and go ahead and go over to YouTube. You got a few minutes. Go over to YouTube, Inside the Nation Radio, and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit that gray bell. So therefore, when the video hits over there, that you guys get a notification. Even for future. All right, so giving all praise to the Most High first off. Secondly, all right, Israel, we're going to stay on topic tonight. We're going to stay on topic. We're going to stay on topic. All right, give me a second. Still good? We still good? All right, cool.
Shalom.
We're going to stay on topic tonight,
Shalom,
Israel. I put a poll up on Facebook, I think last night before last, just to get the opinions or the mindset or the thought of where people stood before the discussion. Do you believe it's morning to morning, or do you believe it's evening to evening? It's concerning the Sabbath or when the day begins. Somehow, some way, that discussion went from morning to morning or evening to evening to about Esau, who Esau is, about who the 2/3 are, about who's going to get destroyed, and all type of stuff. Listen, I even had a comment about, bring out the precepts. Yeah, we're going to bring the precepts out. The thing is, we want to see how well these discussions edify, how well they help the knowledge base. So we want to get your understanding before it starts, and then once the precepts come out, then we want to see what you're thinking afterwards. So see if it edifies. Because if there's no edification during these discussions, then what's the point, right? We do this for edification, not for our own personal glory. So that's the whole point of that poll. So after the discussion, I'm going to put up another poll, and I'm going to ask you if you were one that said, hey, I believe morning to morning, or I believe evening to evening. Well, after the discussion, we're going to put another poll up and ask again. Okay, so now what is it? Last time I looked at the poll, it was about almost 200 votes, almost, and it was 60% morning to morning, 40% evening to evening. Now, another thing about that is most of the people didn't even vote. You guys went into the comment section, you dropped a comment like, I believe morning to morning, or I believe evening to evening. No, don't do that. Just push the nighttime button for evening and the morning button for morning to cast your vote. All the teaching in the comment section it's a distraction. You're pulling away from the point. All the debating, you're pulling away from the point. Just cast your vote. Therefore, it can better help us to determine just how accurate the polls are, or just how much these discussions help everyone. All right. Make sure. All right, I'm good. So that helps us to determine just how these discussions are going to help Israel. Like I said, if we're not getting any edification out of this, then what's the point, right? So when the next poll comes out, listen, no debating, no teaching, none of the rest of that stuff. Just stay on topic and cast your vote. That's it. That's all we need. It's too much of a distraction. It's going way off topic. I'm still trying to figure out who is Esau getting to what do you believe, boy? I'm still trying to figure that one out. I don't know how Esau came into the topic. I was talking to a sister and also a brother today, and when we read about our forefathers, how they saw the power of the Most High, literally with their eyes, they saw the power of the Most High. They saw much more than what we saw today. But yet, with them seeing the power of the Most High, they still went off into idolatry and transgressed, right? And we sit here today like, man, how can they see that? If it was me, I wouldn't do it. How can they see that and still go off? But you know what? It showed the mindset of our forefathers, our people.
Shalom,
we are them people. It showed the mindset of us then versus the mindset of us now. We are still the same short attention span people who can get easily sidetracked because we can't stay on simple topics. Now, the simple topic is just vote. Just vote on all the rest of it. Let's stay simple. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get sidetracked. That's always been our history. We're still doing it to this very day. So we're going to stay on topic. When the poll come out, just vote. No teaching, no debating, no everything else. Don't let Esau come into the mix. I had some of the brothers, some of the sisters saying, hey, the brother Fire said y'all don't debate. And then about an hour into it, they were debating. It's like, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. My phone was going crazy. It's going off and off and off. So y'all, let's stay on topic with what we're doing, okay? my next point I wanted to bring out before we get the brothers on here. All right, when the brothers come on, listen. When the brothers come on, this is how it's going to go. When the brothers come on, there's no teaching in the comment section. We're going to have teachers on the platform, and the teachers that are on the platform, they're going to be bringing out the precepts. Let them do that. When you start bringing out your precepts and you start teaching, now you become a distraction, and somebody see what you posted and they don't like that. Now you brought out a scripture, now they've been trying to bring a scripture to cut your scripture, which scriptures don't contradict, but for some odd reason, we think if you brought this one, I can bring this one, and it just turns into a whole thing, right? So listen, no teaching in the comment section, all right? So just fair warning now, right? Because we want to keep the attention on what the speakers are bringing out, right? With that being said, we want everybody to be a part, but if we can't keep the distractions down, we're going to have to start pulling some people out of the viewership, out of the comment section, all right? No debating. Don't start a big debate. If you don't like what's being said, fine. One of our main goals tonight is to show all of Israel that even at the end of the day, if we do not agree, we're still brethren. You're still my brother. You're still my sister. We all still Israel. So we can disagree, walk away, and not have to come for our brother's throat. I mean, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. And if so, what makes us so different from the Christian church, right? So no teaching in the comment section. No debating in the comment section. What else I got down here? Most of all, no disrespecting any of the speakers. Okay, we've all seen debates. We see how those debates go, man. Those debates get wild sometimes, and if they don't like what's being said, and things start coming out. All right, so with those things, the teaching in the comment section, the debating in the comment section, the disrespecting of the speakers, I mean, we're gonna pull you out of the comment section because we want to keep focus on what's being said. Because I mean, we all know that the Sabbath, even the most wicked of wicked Israelites keep the Sabbath, right? We all keep the Sabbath. So, sorry about that. We all keep the Sabbath. So with that being said, we're trying to get the truth of the Sabbath. How do we keep it accurately, correctly? Is it morning to morning or is it evening to evening? We about to get some evidence. We're about to find out which is which. So let's keep attention on the speakers. The Sabbath is like the most wicked Israelites keep the Sabbath. Like they could be the most wicked Israelite in the world, but everybody knows about the Sabbath. Might not always keep it correctly, but the Sabbath is a big topic in Israel. So we just want to keep everything on the speakers, everything focused on them, and stay out of the debates, stay out of teaching. If you're a teacher and you want to you have a topic or you want to, hey, hit me up in the inbox. We can talk about it later. We can see if we can get you on here and get your point of view or see what the scriptures say or what you believe or whatever the case may be. But as far as that, now this is how the discussion is going to go. Let me pull it up. Give me 1 second. It's not on my screen. I'm flipping through like 20 screens right now. I'm going to read this to you. This is how the discussion is going to go. We have a format. And the format is, bear with me, Israel. Bear with me. The format. Okay. The format. This goes for both sides. Each side will start off with a 10-minute presentation. A 10-minute presentation. So for the morning to morning, the brothers will have 10 minutes just to pretty much teach. Bring the precepts out. Hey, the Bible says this, 10 minutes. Evening to evening, same thing. Once those brothers are done, then they can come in and bring theirs. That's the first round. The second round, after both sides have brought out their presentation, now there's a 10-minute segment for both sides to rebuttal. So when you hear what the other side say, one side will be like, okay, well, they said this. Let me show you in scripture. It says this, and this is what it means. So they get a chance to rebuttal. That's round 2. Round 3, we're calling the cross-examination round. This is when the speakers will actually be speaking to each other and asking each other questions. So for 10 minutes, one side will be saying, hey, I got a question about this. What do you mean by this? And they get to cross-examine. Then when those 10 minutes are over, then the next side get to say, hey, all right, here are my questions to you. Now, after that, if you, the viewer, have any questions after the first 3 rounds, if you have any questions, we are going to open up the phone lines. We're going to open up the phone lines. And if you have questions, you can call in. Now, I'm actually using a different software because I had the one I normally use when y'all saw the banner going across the bottom, Inside Nation Radio with the phone number. I'm using a different software, so I can't have. That one wouldn't give me enough camera space to do have myself and all the speakers on. So I don't have the banner on this, but I'm going to give you the number. And if you guys got a pen and pad, go ahead and let's write the number down real quick. My moderator, can you go ahead and put the number for Inside the Nation Radio inside the comment section also? 866-718-0557. It's going to be 866-718-0557. With that being said, please do not call until we open up the lines and tell you to call. We're not going to take any calls until we get to that round or that portion of the discussion. So once the brothers, I'll go through all 3 rounds, the presentation, the rebuttal, and the cross-examination. Then we'll open up the phone lines for any questions. You can call in if you want to ask Masharathyah a question, or Judah Macc a question, or if you want to ask the Gorilla Hebrew a question, or Deacon Hakah a question, you call in and you can ask it. Now, we're asking when you call in, keep all questions respectful. Respect the speakers when you guys call in. I'm sure everybody in this viewing audience are respectful, but you just got to put it out there. Okay? So I'm just going to put it out there. Just make sure you're respectful. Don't call in. Don't be disrespectful, because I got a hang up button. It worked. You know what I mean? The speakers have agreed to be respectful to each other. Like I say, it's a discussion. This ain't a boxing match. This ain't it's a discussion. And I know when I say discussion, everybody viewing hears debate. It's just the way it is. That's us. That's Israel. We everyone here. So, but even with that being said, both sides have agreed to be respectful, and I know brothers on both sides. Some a little better than others. Some not so great. Some just a little bit. But I know brothers enough on both sides to know that these are men of their word, and they're gonna keep it that way. So they're gonna be respectful. We're asking you to be respectful. All right. What else do I want to bring out? We're about to get the brothers on here in a few minutes. With that being said, I'm going to play a track real quick. The brothers will be on here in a couple minutes. So with that being said, I'm going to play this track. Keep everything in mind. If you need that number again, 866-718-0557. Oh, yeah. To get through to the line, it's extension 12. Y'all know it. Y'all, Inside the Nation, 12 tribes of Judah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, all right. 866-718-0557, extension 12 to get through to the line. Okay? With that being said, got a few more minutes for the brothers come on. I'm going to play a track. I told the brothers 10:30 because I wanted to run through that a little bit, what I just said. You still got a few minutes. Listen, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube, go to my YouTube, Inside the Nation Radio, and subscribe. If there's a day where you can't make one of these discussions or shows, you can always go back and watch it there. I know we want to catch it live, but sometimes we just can't. I got a message from a brother said that they were calling in to work to watch this. They were calling in. They can watch this. So, just in case we have another interesting topic like this and you want to catch it, and Boss Man, Plantation say you can't. Nope. I'm gonna give you some lashes. You can't call in. Well, you subscribe to the YouTube. You catch it on there. So do that. Go over there. We got a few minutes. I'm gonna play a track real quick while we're waiting for the brothers to come on. You got a few minutes. Go to the YouTube, Inside the Nation Radio, on YouTube, and subscribe. If you have an Android phone, it's not for Apple yet. I'm building. I'm getting there. But if you have an Android phone, you can go to my website or go to the Google Play Store and type in Inside the Nation Radio and download the app. So you can, if you want to listen to this discussion at some point, drive it in your car, put it on your Bluetooth. You can have the app on your phone. We will, as soon as I get confirmation, I believe we will be having this episode also on iHeartRadio. So I'm trying my best to put it out there as in many ways as possible, so that we can just get the word out, get the truth out, for Israel. So go ahead, Inside the Nation Radio on YouTube. I'm gonna play the track real quick. to the speakers, if you're watching right now, I told the speakers 10:30, but if you're watching right now and you brothers can go ahead and come in, I just want to get that out of the way first, and then we can get the ball rolling. So I'm going to play a track until the brothers get on, okay? This is I Pray by Deacon Hakah. DeaconSicarii.com. Go get the album. Or you can go to my website, InsideTheNationRadio.com. Click on this picture, his banner. It'll take you to his website, and then you can purchase from over there. But check him out.
In my hood, you hear sirens and semis pop. Judah keep.
I think Cuz turned off his microphone, goddamn me. He don't even know his microphone off. Lord Jesus, look at here, man. What's going on, Israel? We gonna wait till the guys come on. I ain't know it was gonna be a whole lot of talking in the beginning, but he had to put out the rules and regulations and all that good stuff because you know how Israel is. We like to goddamn me fight before the goddamn me thing starts. So goddamn me, we gonna get this thing.
Strive to put my trust in
okay,
you.
There we go.
Where the power lies, my people are dead and pump will come out of hide. I pray every day, no excuses or alibis. I pray.
The music stop, please forgive me.
I pray. All of this in the name of Yahweh Shai. Can't feed the flesh, don't need the stress, so I fast and I rest instead. Cold sweats in the bath, trying to grasp as I sit in bed. In my dream, I had a twin. He stabbed me to death and fled. Visions of a pale horse and a dragon with 7 heads. Vagabond, Babylon, being watched by the Lord. Can't even stop by the store, cause on my block it's a war. Jehovah Witnesses don't even knock at my door, cause they know they false doctrine will get chopped by my sword. Yeah, I'm with the lyrical or the spiritual murder play. I see some ravenous wolves leading the herd astray. My homie's mom's a tweaker, I watch him serve a yay. I'm numb to this game and the pain, I'm an invertebrate. When the Messiah comes serve, we gon' witness the sun purge. He coming back to judge every idle and dumb word. My team always moving in silence, we unheard. The elite wanna converge on the elect and the 1/3. I pray, Abba, Yahweh, rise, I pray. Look at grace in everything that you shall provide, I pray. Every day that you teach me how to strive to put my trust in you, cause in you is where the power lies. My people are dead and pump will come out of hide, I pray. Every day, no excuses or alibis, I pray. That every last one of these cowards die, I pray. All of this in the name of Yahweh Shai.
I pray you sing to the Lord a new song. Sing praise in the assembly of the righteous. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud on their beds. Let the high praise of God be on the mouths of the saints and a two-edged sword in their hand to execute vengeance on the demonic nations and punishment on those peoples. Divide their kings for change.
If only I could spread my wings and fly away, I'd escape this place right away and be gone, vanished without a trace. That's why I stay. It ain't safe for kids to go out and play. No matter if it's night or day, you can be hit by a stray. So every morning when I awake, I pray for a brighter day. Don't know how much more darkness my eyes can take. Criminals populate the city, crime is at its highest rate. Growing up, I was surrounded by a lot of hate. Through the tribulations, I acknowledge that Yahweh's great. Can't wait till he sent his son to deliver us about this place. Babylon the Great, better known as the United States, the place that was built off of oppressing an entire race. But when them tribes awake, we about this place. Every nation under the sun gonna be more shook than a violent quake. Let's get it right, Jake, so we can take our rightful places. 12 gates reserved for us, our paradise awaits.
Israel, if you can hear my voice, Z-Mac in the building. Z-Mac, if you can hear my voice, goddamn me, Crown Righteous, if you can hear my voice. Monet Telling, if you can hear my voice, please let me know.
Track, you can also find this brother on my website.
If you hear the
Josiah
video,
in Israel. His mixtape is a free download. Y'all go check him out.
Okay, audio is good. Great.
You're angry, you act like a zombie. You follow my walk like a zombie. With the scriptures, I'm burning you zombies. Repentance for only the Israelites. I hope you don't die like a zombie. Before you gon' burn all you zombies. Religion melts your brain, son. You ain't learn the thing. You're angry, you act like a zombie. You follow and walk like a zombie. With the scriptures, I'm burning you zombies. Repentance for only the Israelites. I hope you don't die like a zombie. Before you gon' burn all you zombies. Judah don't mess with no zombies. Blocking them beautiful calmly. And they stepping like Martin no time. Jungle in the earth, no Wisconsin. Judah don't mess with no zombies. Blocking them beautiful garment. And they stepping like Martin no time. Jungle in the earth, no Wisconsin. Oh, my motherland, Yasharala. Oh, they slipping, better dry the towel up. I'm the type of Jew hate my enemies. Mama used to call me king, baby. Return to the law, be a king, hasted. I'm an Israelite son of the ancient, but I won't go like this. Don't even trip. You do not wish on no women, no way. Facing the east and we pray 3 a day. Talking about Sunday to Sabbath, no way. Granny be speaking in tongues, ain't no way.
Drawing sword in the building, man.
Pastor come first and he sit around the tray. Tithing they money so good in no way. Robbing my people, he think it's okay. Judgment is coming to you any day. I just don't see how come one can debate. Jesus so right, man, little buddy, no way.
I like her setup. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I can't wait till I get to that level right there, man. Cuz setup is tight now.
The link to you, brother.
Just like a lion, we jump for the prey. Shit like that logo on the Aki Puma. Study the law and you learn to maneuver. Got out of Israel and Cuba, Barbuda. On the Sabbath, hopefully we eat tuna. And I pray I wake up my solution. Ain't no time for no wicked intruders. Moses who had the law, not a religion. America slavery business. Lost in the system, headed for prison. Zombie, you wobbling, you ain't in rhythm. America slavery business. Lost in the system and headed for prison. Zombie, you
Check this out. If you're a business owner, if you got music, whatever the case may be, whatever you're doing positive for the nation of Israel, I'm starting up a segment called Nation Announcement. It's going to be midweek. If you're a business owner, we're going to open up the phone lines, call in, tell people if you make shirts, clothing, fringes, whatever, call in and tell the nation where they can get it from, how they can get it, and put it out there. The link, how to find you, your website, etc. If you got music, you want your music to be played, send it to me. If it's good music, man, it's for Israel. I'm trying to do anything and everything I can possible to help the nation of Israel. If you haven't done so already, if your credit is a little on the rough side, go check out my video on my YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube, Inside the Nation Radio. Look at the video for getting your credit up. I used to do credit repair. It was my business. So I got the documents. I got the information. This is information that's going to cost you anywhere from $300, $3,000 and on up. I'm doing this for the nation of Israel for free, trying to help my people. So y'all go ahead and do that. That's free. There's no reason you shouldn't. Right now, we're just waiting for the speakers to come on. So if you got that, if your credit, suffering a little bit, go over there, check it out. It's on my website, or it's on my YouTube. So I should say, Inside the Nation Radio on YouTube. Subscribe, watch the video about the credit. Take advantage of it, man. It's free. Take advantage. I don't know if you heard me the first time, but Brother Ahlazar, Gorilla Hebrew, I just sent you the link. Let me know if you have any issues.
From Israel, but that's where they captured us. Up and they put us on slave ships, headed straight to the land that they stole from the natives, killing so many. Talking about bodies on bodies. Us all, separating us all. Patience on our neck. Expected the worst, hope for the best.
Any of the brothers, if y'all having any type of difficulties coming in, shoot me a quick text message. Let me know.
And lead it into captivity. Go into captivity. Kill it with the sword. Kill with the sword.
Shalom, Marcus. What's going on, cousin?
Shall not pollute the land. Blood and devour the land.
I'm gonna get this phone number.
All praise. Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Let me go get this phone number just in case y'all want to call, cuz.
Lips on our backs and our women, taking the cotton and making
That last song was by Josiah Ben Israel. It's on my website, InsideTheNationRadio.com. It's a purple banner. Go in there, click on it. It'll take you straight to his mixtape. As everybody knows, this is the 400 Years a Slave, my favorite track by Deacon Hakah. You go on my website also, click on his banner. It takes you straight to his website.
Hey, can you hear me, brother?
Shalom, bro. Shalom.
Hey, you need to let everybody know. You can't go in straight from the website. You got to download the app. It forced me to download the app, so that's what took so long to log on.
It forced. Okay. Brother Ahlazar, Deacon Hakah, Masharathyah, y'all may have to download. You got to download the app to come in. Go ahead and download the app, and if afterwards you want to delete it, you can. But you got to download the app, and then you'll be able to come in. Once you download the app, put in the ID that I sent you, and then put in the password that I sent you, and then you'll be on.
Hey, but since they can't come in, I'm gonna just go ahead and do the whole class. All right, everybody.
All praises. All praises. That's what it is. So how you doing, brother?
Good. As well as can be expected in captivity, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you having this venue, man, so we can have a adult discussion about, a big topic that's going on right now or whatever. I'm gonna let everybody know. I didn't come out with this doctrine, just so y'all know. This is my doctrine. This is the Judah Mac doctrine. I didn't come out with this doctrine. I learned it.
Right. I mean, I heard it a while ago. It actually, when I first heard it, it's been some while. I think you were also still IUIC at the time. It was a while back when I heard it. I never really paid too much attention to it. I kind of just skipped over it. Once I started listening to it, I'm like, oh, some points in there. So yeah, it's been a while.
Actually, when I first came into the truth, that's how I learned the Sabbath one-to-one. And it wasn't until I joined IUIC that they was like, nah, it's evening.
Man, these people here crazy, man. Why they are not waiting for the goddamn other party to come on? They already talking, man. This, you don't supposed to talk like that. Wait. Man, Judah Mac, you're talking too much, cuz just hold up. God dang, man. Wait till the people come on, man.
That's how I learned it, from the people that I was scattered about watching. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't have scriptures to support it, so, it was easy for me to let go until later on and the scriptures came.
Right. Precept started saying something else. Hey,
man, y'all see this foolery,
I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to all praise to the Most High for Sister Alicia. Man, that sister something else, man. That sister is something else, man. She is she's a blessing. She's a blessing. Man, she's really a blessing, and I'm going to get some great. She has a heart for the Most High, man. So I want to give her a quick shout out, man. She helped us spread the word. She was anything I needed, man. She was right there. I'm sure she was right there for you brothers too. So that's just a real blessing. So I want to give a quick shout out to Sister Alicia.
All praises to the Most High. Yeah, it's my sister, man. I call her tech support.
Exactly, tech support, and more. Shalom, brother. Masharathyah,
if you look down at the bottom, that's where you can unmute your mic at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I got you. Shalom. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
What's good with you, man?
I had to study. Hey, for y'all who don't know, I had to study this brother's name. I used to be tearing it up. I was like, man, I'm tearing his name up. Then I was like, well, they tear my name up too. I done been called by some of everybody, Abijah, or something.
I was backing you.
Yeah, different name differently, man. That's why.
Yeah. Judah Mac, you probably jacked my name up worse than anybody. Shalom, D. Big and prepared.
Mic check. Can y'all hear me? Okay,
yeah, shalom.
I can hear y'all. Let me try to get my earphones on.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Because I jack people's names up about it. What's the brother right here? What's the brother's name? Deacon what?
Deacon Hakah. Hakah.
How you spell it?
Hakah.
Okay. Hey, Shalom, Deacon.
What's the other brother's name that's coming on?
Okay, there we go.
Brother Ahlazar. He go by. Oh, there you go. You can tell him.
Brother Ahlazar, aka the Greek Hebrew.
How you spell it, Deacon?
Ahlazar. What's going on, my beloved brethren?
Hey, shalom. Hey, shalom.
Hey, brother, do people ever tell you your favorite T.I. a little bit? Yeah. Yeah, that's tip, man. That's tip.
You can tell by my reaction that I hear that all the time.
Yeah, y'all kind of sound the same a little bit. All right, we got brother Ahlazar on. All right,
Chief priest.
All praises. Shalom, brother. Hey, brother.
Okay, kind of.
If you look at the bottom of the screen, that's where you can unmute your mic. At the bottom of the screen. So if you want to speak.
Shalom. Hey, Shalom. Yeah, it again, Ahlazar.
How y'all feeling?
Good. What's good with you, man?
Good. All praise to the Most High.
Hey, I got a question. Are we able to share our screens or what?
I was asked the question earlier. Yeah, you should have a share on your side.
Yeah, let me just see if it works real quick.
Okay.
Let's see if it works.
My original software was giving me trouble with the screen share and.
Yeah, you gotta download the app to share the screen.
Oh, really?
Did you come in through the browser?
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. We all got Bibles. I guess we could just do it like that.
Okay. All right. Well, we got all the speakers, all the teachers here. As everybody know, we're gonna be discussing the doctrine. And as the brother said earlier, he said this is not the Judah Macc doctrine. This is something that's been out for quite some time, and I can attest to that because I've heard it before I've ever heard him say anything about it. I've heard it before. So what we're going to be going over is, when does the Sabbath really begin? The Sabbath / day, when does it really begin? Is it evening to evening like we all believe, or is it actually morning to morning? Could we have missed something, right? So we're going to start going through that. And once again, I know all the brethren already know the format, but we're just going to go through it one more time for the viewers. Each side, we have the brother Judah Macc and we have the brother Macc Masharathyah. That's going to be giving a presentation on the morning to morning. Then we have the brother Gorilla Hebrew. And then we got the brother Deacon Hakah, who's going to be giving a presentation on his evening to evening. So each side is going to have 10 minutes to come out and give their presentation on why is it evening to evening or why is it morning to morning. After that, the next round is going to be a rebuttal round. Round 2 is a rebuttal round. So one side can rebut what the other side said. Both sides get 10 minutes again. The third round, they're actually going to interact with each other, ask each other questions. We call it the cross-examination round. All right. So once we do the cross-examination, we're going to get ready to wrap it up. But before we do, we'll take about 15 minutes and we'll open up the phone lines and we'll take some calls. So if you have any questions, I'm going to give you the number one more time right now. 866-718-0557. Extension 12. If you call in, if somebody's ahead of you, you're going to be in the queue. You just hear the waiting music until, it's your turn. Hopefully you can get through before the 15 minutes expires, if we have callers. So that's how we're going to do it. I left it up to you brothers to say whoever wants to go first. We'll start off with you brothers. This is how the timer is going to go. You're going to hear this little funny voice that says go. Once the voice says go, there's 10 minutes going. You may hear a little ticking in the last 5 seconds. You're going to hear a ding when you got that's your 2-minute warning. When you hear the little ding, the little bell, it's a 2-minute warning. Well, right at the last 5 seconds, excuse me, at the last 5 seconds, you're going to hear a little ticking just to warn you that the buzzer is about to go off. And then the 10 minutes will be up. After that 10 minutes, then we'll give it to the other side. I'm going to leave it up to you, brothers, to decide which one you want to go first. Any objections? Anybody want to morning to morning, evening to evening? Anybody's ears?
I'll let the brothers go first. I give them the floor, lest they object.
It seems like Ahlazar is on an important phone call, so let me get you guys to go first. Let him know we're starting. I don't know if he. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Man, he might be talking to a prime minister somewhere. It might be a real important phone call.
Yeah, no, Prime Minister of Haiti. Prime Minister of Haiti, right?
Maybe.
He's sending that water relief.
Right. There you go. All right.
Okay, we'll just let you, our beloved brothers, give the opening, and we'll come and give the opening after that.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna mute Deacon Hakah, you and Gorilla Hebrew. I'm gonna mute your mics, and then I'm gonna give it the floor over to Judah Macc and Masharathyah as soon as Judah Macc comes back.
Dang, I know. Left.
Huh?
I said now Judah left.
Hey, it's probably another prime minister knocking on the door, man. You know, it's a big.
It's night. I got to drink coffee. I go to bed early, so I'm drinking coffee.
All right. So I'm going to mute the brother's mic. So right now, the Deke, and I'm going to also mute my mic as soon as I start it.
All right, cool. Let's go to Genesis 1.
Hold on. When you hear the little timer start, when the little funny little sounding guy tell you to go, then go. All right?
All right.
What a little funny guy at?
You didn't hear him?
Nah.
Let me see. Why y'all didn't hear my funny sounding friend? Hold on.
Because you muted your mic, probably.
Probably. Let's see.
Go. All right, so we good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now you can mute your mic. Hey, let's go to Genesis 1.
Genesis 1 and what, bro?
Read verse 1 and 2, and then stop at 2.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.
Right. So it's in verse 2. It says, "And the earth was without form and void." So when you look up in the Hebrew, it gives you the number 922 for void. So void in there, it means empty, emptiness, to be empty, vacuity, empty space, meaning nothing was there. So then it says without form. When you look that up, that's 84:14, means formless, empty place, nothing. So in there it says, and the earth was without form and void, meaning there was nothing there, nothing existed. Read on.
You want verse 2 again or verse 3?
Verse 3.
Verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light.
Right. Read on.
And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And
right.
God called the light day, and called the darkness, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
Okay, so stop there. So in verse 4 it says, "And God saw the light, and it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness." So when you look up in verse 2, when it says that darkness was upon the face of the deep, we automatically think darkness as being night. When you look it up, darkness means obscurity or something that's hard to understand, something that didn't exist as we see it to be. So when it says, and God said, let there be light, the first thing that it created was illumination. So you could see, because again, before then, there was nothing there. It says the earth was without form and void. It was an empty space. So then it said, and without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. Nothing was there. Nothing existed. It's not the same night or dark that we think of. It's not, like it says obscurity or hard to understand. We don't know what that was, right? So then it says, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So that was the creation of day and the creation of night. When he was doing that in verse 5. Before then, nothing existed. Did you want to add to that?
Yeah, because what we get to is verse 5. And God called the light day. The light, the illumination, he called it day. And the darkness, he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So right there, just in that statement, the evening and the morning was the first day. What did he call the day? The light. So he didn't say the evening to the evening was the first day, because if you take a whole span of time, if you take a whole span of a day, evening and morning are two small sections of a day. The evening time, the going down of the sun, the morning time, or the dawning of the sun, when the sun is coming up. Those two spans right there, said evening and morning was the first day. If you read in another book that I got over here, which ain't another book, it's the Bible, it reads like this. Hold on real quick. Let me grab it real quick. Sorry, I should have had it sitting right here. It says, this book is, I know it's going to be inverted, the scriptures. What it is it's the Bible. If you can see, it's the Bible. It's got, the only thing is it uses more Hebrew names for the books of the Bible, like Shemuel, and that's for Samuel or whatnot, and Elohim for God, and things like that. The J's are not there and whatnot. So when you read here, it says, verse 5, and Elohim, this is Genesis 1 and 5. It says, and Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning. Meaning the evening and the morning was the first day, is just saying that it was a process of time. And then after the morning, what comes after the morning? Watch this. I want you to get a scripture for me real quick, Masharathyah. Nehemiah 8 and 3. Watch this. Nehemiah 8 and 3. Because we'll get taught that evening and the morning means the evening starts the day, and then the morning, and then it's the morning. But that's in the beginning in Genesis, that's two small segments right there of a day. What about what happens after the morning? Where's that at? Because the evening to the morning, that represents from evening, sundown, all the way to the night, and then sun up. Where's the rest of that day at? Where's the light time part of that day? Watch this. Read Nehemiah 8 and 3.
Nehemiah 8 and 3. And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate from the morning until midday, before the men.
Right there, from the morning until midday. So after the morning, we know that there's something else. There's midday. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then it goes into the evening part of that day. So if it says the evening and the morning was the first day, after that morning, what happened next when God started creating? It was daylight, and God started creating again. And then the evening and the morning was the next day. And then what happened? It was daylight, midday, and all that stuff, 12 noon, all that came. God was creating. The sun started going down. And the evening and the morning was the next day. That's what the evening and the morning is talking about. But go ahead, Masharathyah.
All right, so when it says in verse 5, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So in order to have a day, you have to have light. And again, when you read above that, it says, and God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. He was creating a day, and he was creating a night at that time. So because before that, there was no sun and no moon. So he had to establish all those things. You don't read that until later on.
Mm-hmm. Verse 14, as a matter of fact, You read that. It was on the fourth day, I believe, that he created the sun and the moon, which gives us our perception of the morning and the evening. Our perception of morning and evening, night and day comes from the sun and the moon. Without the sun and the moon, we have no perception of morning, evening, night, or day. And that didn't come into play until the fourth day. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you.
No, you good. That's pretty much it on that. Let's go to Nehemiah. That's another one that people like to use. Go to Nehemiah 13 and 19.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 19.
Right, so they'll try to use this as the Sabbath day starting at the evening as well. But let's read that and let's get the understanding on what that is. Because what happens is people will read this verse, but they don't get the full understanding. So we'll go back and we'll get the full understanding of what that means. Go ahead.
Nehemiah 13:19. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark, that I commanded that the gates should be shut and charged that they should not be opened until after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should be no burden brought in on the Sabbath day.
Right, so it says, and it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, so they'll use that to say, see, the Sabbath was coming into the evening time. But let's find out what was really going on, because it said, I commanded that the gates should be shut. Let's see what Nehemiah, if he had done that previously. Let's go to Nehemiah 7.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 7, and verse 1.
Read that.
Now, passed when the wall was built, and I had set up the doors, and the porters, and the singers, and the Levites were appointed, that I gave my brother Hananiah and Hananiah, the ruler of the palace, charge over Jerusalem. For he was a faithful man and feared God above many. And I said unto him, let not the gates of Jerusalem be opened until the sun be hot. And while they stand by, let them be shut. Let them shut the doors and bar them. And I appointed of the inhabitants of Jerusalem, everyone in his watch, and everyone to be over against his house.
So Nehemiah, he had already set that order before you get to Nehemiah 13, chapter 13 and verse 19. In Nehemiah chapter 7, verses 1 through 3, he had commanded them to leave the gates shut every single day, and you don't open them up until the sun be hot. So when the sun, we always shut the gates, and then when the sun came up, then that's when he opened the gates so you can do your business or whatnot during that time, during the daytime.
And let me add something to that. If you go back to Nehemiah 13 real quick, Nehemiah 13:6, watch this. This is what was going on in Jerusalem. Nehemiah ended up leaving Jerusalem. And when he left, all kind of debauchery was going on.
All praises. That was the 10 minutes, brother. That was the 10 minutes. Hey, I want to say real quick. Listen, if you just got on here, I gave a quick little discussion in the beginning before the brothers came on. No debating in the comment section. Don't teach in the comment section. We got teachers on here. They finna bring forth the precept. Stop debating, stop teaching, because that's a distraction. Because somebody's gonna take what you say and they're gonna run with it, and before long we're gonna be like the Poland. We're gonna be talking about who is Esau. And it goes way left field real quick. So listen, just let's roll with the brothers, give them our full attention. We've been waiting to hear these precepts come out. So don't teach, don't debate, and let them do their thing. Now, so if you continue to teach and debate, we're just gonna remove you because others are being distracted by it. So let's just give these brothers our full attention. All right. With that being said, we finna give the floor over to our brother Gorilla Hebrew and Deacon Hakah, and they're gonna bring out the precepts. All right, so they get 10 minutes, and once you brothers hear the funny looking guy or funny sounding guy say go, you got 10 minutes. You're gonna hear the ding. I saw the brother Junior, I was a little surprised by the ding. That's the 2-minute warning. Let you know you got 2 minutes left, and around the 5-second mark, you're gonna hear some ticking. And then at the end, you'll hear the horns go off, letting you know the 10 minutes are up. All right? So when you hear the guy say go ahead and go. Let me unmute first. All right, hold on.
Go. All right, first and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of who the world calls Christ, Yahweh Shai. It's your brother, Chief Priest Ahlazar BanLawya, a.k.a. the Gorilla Hebrew, with the brother Deacon Hakah. And the first thing I want to say is, I believe there are some very fundamental misunderstandings that lead to a lot of these different doctrines. And we're just gonna go simple. I'm gonna go through the Torah. As a Levitical priest, it's my job to minister the Torah to the nation of Israel. So I'm gonna just go over the Torah, and we're just gonna see what the Torah says, plain and simple, right? First here, Genesis 1:5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So we understand the evening and the morning were the first day. The evening was where it began. Then came the light, right? Now, granted, the brother commented to how, well, we get our perception of this is on the fourth day. Very true. But this is why we have to analyze Exodus 20 and 10 to 11. But the seventh day is the Sabbath day of the Most High, thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, or all in them, all that is them is, so like it, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So the reason why we get the Sabbath is a pattern after the creation that started in darkness and then dawned into light. So it's a pattern of it. So if it started dark and went light, then what am I hearing? So like it. Hold on, I gotta turn this down. I don't know what's going on. But so it's a pattern. This is what we have to understand. All of this is a pattern, right? So this is why we have our week and our Sabbath and our days. It's patterned off of creation, right? To further prove this, let's now go to the book of Leviticus. Leviticus 22 and 6 to 7. The soul which hath touched any such thing shall be unclean until even, and shall not eat of the holy, wash his flesh with water. And when the sun is down, he shall be clean of the holy things, because it is his food. Why is it when somebody's unclean, they're only unclean until even? Does it stand to reason that maybe because it's another day, this is a new day, right? Hebraically. Let's now go to the next book in the Torah, Numbers 19 and 11. He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. Given verse 19. And the person shall sprinkle upon the unclean on the 3rd day and on the 7th day. And on the 7th day he shall purify himself and wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and shall be clean at even. You see that? 7 days at even, this is when it happens. Why is it at the end of 7 days, the measurement is evening? It's clear, because that's when the day starts. Deuteronomy 23 and 10 to 11. And if there be among you, any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness that chanceth him by night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp. He shall not come within the camp, but it shall be when evening cometh, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, in 2 days. On 15, at his day thou shalt give him his hire. Right? You got to pay somebody the day they work. Neither shall the sun go down upon him. See that? You got to pay him the same day. The sun can't go down on it. What does that mean? It's the same. It's a new day. You have to pay someone the day they work for you, not the next day. Neither let the sun go down upon it, for he is poor and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee and Yahweh thee unto Yahweh, and it be sin unto thee. Now this is Deuteronomy 21 and 23. His body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For it is hanged on the tree as a curse, that the land be not defiled, which Yahweh thy power giveth thee for an inheritance. Right? So if you hang somebody, you can't leave them on the tree. You have to take them off the tree that day. Right? Joshua 8 and 29. And the king of Ai, he hanged on a tree until eventide. And as soon as the sun was down, Joshua commanded that they should take his carcass down from the tree, cast it at the entering of the gates of the city, and raise thereupon a great heap of stones that remained unto this day. So as we clearly see, you can't leave somebody hanging all the night, so a whole day. So what did they do? They took him down at eventide, when the sun went down. Why? Because that was a new day. This is clear. I'm now going to turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Deacon Hakah. Go ahead.
True. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I think it would be intellectually irresponsible for us not to get some history of actual primary sources of people who observed our cultural backgrounds and how we observe the Sabbath. So first, I'm going to go to the Wars of Josephus. Everybody knows this. Page 582. It says, and the last was erected above the top of the Pastaphoria, where one of the priests stood, of course, and gave a signal beforehand with a trumpet at the beginning of every seventh day in the evening twilight. That's one source. This is also another source. This is as Bereans did, and it says, here we go. After the first Babylonian exile, when many Jews still lived in Babylon, the Jewish courts in Jerusalem set up a system to relay confirmation of new moon so that those in the diaspora knew when to keep the holy days. This was important because only the Sanhedrin could legally set the holy day calendar. Astronomical science was advanced enough to predict the date rather reliably, but Jewish law required the testimony of two witnesses to officially establish the new moon. Jewish historian Flavius Josephus documents the critical role of the witness on page 65 of his sequel to the History of the Jews. If a person who was one of the first to see the new moon was physically unable to walk, he was not exempt from the duty to go to Jerusalem and testify, because not only does this prove that the day starts at evening and the Sabbath starts at evening, it's also parallel with the new moon. My next source and last source is going to be from Johannes Buxtorf, a celebrated Hebraist and Hebrew professor, where it says they celebrate the Sabbath. It says how the Jews prepare for the Sabbath and celebrate it. They celebrate the Sabbath with 3 delicious meals, which are prepared as well and elegantly as possible. The first meal is Friday night when the Sabbath starts. That's the key point. That's the first sentence in chapter 10 of how the Jews prepare for the Sabbath and celebrate it. For the next round, we'll bring more scriptures, and I'll yield my time unless Ahlazar has something to say.
Brother Gorilla Hebrew, you have something else you want to add?
I'm just having some technical issues a little bit on my computer. Like it's a delay a little bit, but yeah, I mean, essentially what's going on here is I mean, it's very clear. Man, what is see this? What I'm saying? Oh, but yeah, so it's very believe in. Not necessarily predicated upon the presentation that the brothers have given to this juncture, but in this doctrine, I believe there is a fundamental misunderstanding that has led people to come to these conclusions, and I believe it is the fundamental misunderstanding of day and overcomplicating the concept of daytime and day being a roughly 24-hour period. I believe that's where all of this entire thing comes from, and people convoluting the two concepts and mincing them, quite frankly. I think if we took a step back and continued into Hebraic thought, we see everything starts dark and then becomes light and grows light. Everything in creation, that's how the creation works. That's how a child is born. All these various things come from darkness to light in all forms of creation that we see as the exemplary work of the Most High Yahweh. So to come to the conclusion that a day is anything different when we have the clear example starting in the very first book, the very first chapter, the very first book in the Bible, I believe is, again, erroneous, and it just convolutes everything. But that's pretty much all I had on that. I guess we could come back in the next round. So all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Right, all right. All praises. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say my appreciations to the comment section. I see we stopped the teaching and stopped the debating. All praises. Focus on the teachers. We got some strong brothers right here ahead of us, in front of us, doing the work of the Most High, the mighty work of the Most High. All right, so we finna move to round 2. All right, that was round 1. The morning to morning presentation was given. The evening to evening presentation was given. Now we're gonna move to round 2. Round 2 is the rebuttal round. Now we're gonna move to the brother Judah Macc and Masharathyah, and they're gonna get a chance to bring out the precepts and rebut what was stated initially. When you guys hear, same thing. When you hear, brother Ahlazar, are you able to hear me? Can you hear me, Gorilla Hebrew?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. All right, so we're going to move. What was that?
I had a crazy echo sometimes, but I can hear you.
Okay. All right, so we're going to move to the second round. Finna get the floor back to the brother Judah Macc, brother Masharathyah. They're gonna rebuttal, and they're gonna bring out the precepts. And when you brothers hear the guy say go, same format, 10 minutes, 2-minute warning. You're gonna hear the loud bell. Well, I don't know how loud it is on your end, but you hear the bell, and then around the 5-second mark, you're gonna hear the ticking, and then you're gonna hear the horns. Ready?
Go. Hi.
Hey,
I got you. Exodus 20 and 8. I'm going to read that real quick.
Read verse 8 and 9. Go ahead.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Okay, so keep in mind it says 6 days. 6 days. The key word is days. Go back to Genesis 1 and 5.
Genesis 1 and 5. And God called the light day and the darkness.
Called the light today. So in order to have a day, you need light. And he said, and he called the darkness, he called night. Go to Genesis chapter 2.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
So it says, and on the seventh day, because when he was creating during the daytime. And then when you get to the evening, that's when he rested. It's just like a typical work day. So during the day, he was working. Evening came and he rested. So on the seventh day, that's why he no longer worked. So it said on the seventh day, God ended his work, which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from his work. Go ahead, Jude. Go ahead.
Leviticus 7, and give me Leviticus 7:15. And I appreciate the brothers, brothers bringing it out. Bringing out the precepts or whatever, according to what they understand. I used to understand it the same exact way. But I'm going to give you the precepts. We're going to run them. Leviticus 7:15. Let's go.
Leviticus 7:15. And the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving shall be eaten the same day that it is offered.
Eaten the same day that it is offered. The same day it has to be eaten. Read.
He shall not leave any of it until the morning.
It says you can eat it the same day, but you can't leave none of it until the morning. Why? Because the morning would be another day. Drop that, go to Numbers 11 and 32. It said it got to be eaten the same day. When they offered it, you had a morning and an evening sacrifice. And it said you had to eat that the same day, but don't leave none of it till the morning. Why? Because the morning started a new day. Numbers 11:32. Read that.
Numbers 32. And the people stood up all that day.
All that day.
And all that night.
And all that night. So the key word is that. That day and that night. Read.
And all the next day.
What would the next day be? The morning, like we just read in Leviticus 7 and 15. It says they stood up all that day, all that night, and then all the next day, which would have been the next morning. But the day and the night before, it said that day, that night. It was particular to a certain one, that one. And then it said the next day, which would have started a new day. Drop that, go to Leviticus 6 and verse 20. I'm going to run them fast now because that 10 minutes is quick. Leviticus 6 and 20. So I got to run these precepts fast.
Leviticus chapter 6 and verse 20. This is the offering of Aaron and his sons, which they shall offer unto the Lord in the day when he is anointed.
It said they got in the day when he is anointed. Read.
The 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a meat offering perpetual, half of it in the morning
And the day when it was offered, it said they got to do half of it in the morning. So the first part of it was in the morning.
And half thereof at night.
And half of it at night. In that day. Morning first, and then night. That was the same day. Watch this. Drop that. Go to John 20 and 19. The book of John, chapter 20 and verse 19.
The book of John, chapter 20 and verse 19. Then the same day at evening.
It says the same day when?
At evening.
Couldn't have been the same day, because even starts a new day. According to brothers know to understand, it couldn't have been the same day, because the evening would have started a new day. It said that same day when?
At evening, being the first day of the week.
Being the first day of the week. Watch this. Go to John 20 and 1.
John 21. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre.
To the sepulchre. And we know that yet dark is talking about, go to Mark chapter 16. That yet dark, because one might say, see, it was dark. It was like when you get up and go to work, it's dark outside. And the sun's coming up, it still be dark. And it'd be a minute before the sun get fully up enough to where it don't look dark no more. But at the dawning of the sun, it looked dark. 16 and 2. Read that.
Mark 16 and 2. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun.
So we know when it was yet dark, it was talking about at the rising of the sun. When the sun first starts to crack, it's still yet dark outside, but that's the dawning of the day. Now watch this. Go back to John 20 and 19.
John chapter 20 and verse 19. Then the same day at evening.
Read.
Being the first day of the week.
The first day of the week. We already know that the first part of this day happened when Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to the sepulchre at the rising of the sun, very early in the morning, when it was yet dark, because it was just now starting to dawn towards the first day. So that same day, what happened? Read.
The same at evening, being the first day of the week. When the doors were shut, where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, came Jesus and stood in the midst and saith unto them, Peace be unto you.
So that same day, early in the morning, Mary came to the sepulchre. Jesus was gone, the rising of the sun. Then later on that day, being the same day at evening, so it couldn't have been the same day. If it's evening to evening, that would have been the next day at evening. Go to Matthew 28 and 1. Matthew 28 and 1.
Matthew chapter 28 and verse 1. In the end of the Sabbath.
In the end of the Sabbath, when the Sabbath was ending, inside the end of the Sabbath, read.
As it began to dawn toward the first day of the week.
Hold up. Dawn means the sun's coming up. If the end of the Sabbath is when it's yet dark and it's beginning to dawn towards the first day of the week, that's a day changing. That's according to the scriptures, according to what Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, all of them understood. The day was changing as it began to dawn towards the next day. Read that again.
In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre.
Go to Second Chronicles 2 and 4. Second Chronicles chapter 2, verse 4. So when the sun is beginning to dawn towards the next day, that's another day. It says in the end of the Sabbath. When was the end of the Sabbath? Apparently when it was dark, that was ending the Sabbath, because it said it was dawning towards the first day. We know that to be true according to John, when John said it was the same day when Mary Magdalene came to the sepulchre later on that day, being the same day at evening. That couldn't have been the same day unless it's morning to morning. Unless the morning is what starts the day, like Matthew 28 clearly says. If you understand, if you don't, read that.
Second Chronicles chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, I build an house to the name of the Lord my God, to dedicate it to him, and to burn before him sweet incense, and for the showbread, and for the burnt offerings morning and evening, on the Sabbaths, and on the new moons, and on the solemn feasts of the Lord our God. This is important.
Morning and evening. Drop that. Go to Exodus 10 and 13. It says morning and evening. When did he start the sacrifice? In the morning and in the evening. We had to sacrifice twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. Read on. Read that. Exodus 13.
Exodus 10 and 13. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt. And the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts.
You see that? All that day, all that night, and then the morning changed something. Drop that and get this quick. Leviticus 6 and 20. Because the bell's about to ring.
Leviticus chapter 6 and verse 20. This is the offering of Aaron and of his sons, which they shall offer unto the Lord in the day when he is anointed. The 10th part of the ephah of the fine flour of meat offering, perpetual, half of it in the morning and half thereof at night.
Because we had to have two sacrifices, one in the morning and one at night. In the same day, we had to have two sacrifices. And when did they start? In the morning and then at night. So how can that be in the same day if the night changes the day? It don't make sense. I got about 30 other scriptures, but I know that bell's about to ding on me.
Yeah. So,
Marsh, you got something?
You got 30 seconds?
But it'll take.
Yeah, go ahead. Ain't nothing to do in those couple seconds.
Yeah.
I'll mute my mic.
Mute my mic.
All praises, all praises. Hey, there's no reason to be scared of that bell, man.
Bell heard me like I heard bell came out.
All praises. Hey, if need be, I don't know about everybody else. I don't know about you brothers, but I ain't got nothing else to do. If y'all want to add time at the end, I let that go between y'all. If y'all want to add, if y'all want to bring something else out, at the end, it's up to you, brothers. But for right now,
with that, if you don't mind, can I get one? It's up to them.
Well, at this time, the time expired. Would y'all want to allow them to get one in, or? Well, at this point, the time expired. I'm going to pass it over to
let the brothers.
All right. Okay. So right now, we finna bring the brothers back. Let me mute the mic. Let me unmute the gorilla. Okay. All right. So this is the rebuttal round. 10 minutes. Back over to Gorilla Hebrew and Deacon Hakah. When you hear the funny guy say go, 10 minutes to start. Then you hear the bell at 2-minute warning. All right. Ready?
Go. All right. First and foremost, something that we have to understand again. First and foremost, all praise the Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah. But what we have to understand is this: that last round was a rebuttal round, right? Things are supposed to be getting rebutted, refuted, things of that nature. We, presented some scriptures, we presented some historical facts, etc. They just weren't rebutted. So, I just want that to be noted. The brother made a statement. You can't have a day without light, without daytime. Of course, if the evening and the morning is day, then of course, without that day portion, that day 12 hours, there's not a day. No one's saying anything even relatively resembling that. And what I meant to when I spoke to, which brothers had proceeded to do that last round, when in that last round, Salakia, I spoke about a fundamental misunderstanding and convoluting what daytime and day, and rightly dividing the difference between the daytime and a day. This is very, very key to understanding. And here's the reason. For example, they go read the scripture, see days and nights. Well, you can't have a whole day without a night either. So when you emphasize day there, you're convoluting what is being said. Day and a night is a day. It's a 24-hour period. They both go together simultaneously. If you're not in Alaska during the times where it's all dark or it's all light, you're going to need both of them, right? You see what I'm saying? So this is what I mean by this doctrine is its foundation is convoluting the meanings of daytime and a 24-hour period, right? The brothers brought out Leviticus 7 and 15. So the word there, dealing with until the next morning, that word also means the next day, the whole next day. So to isolate it just meaning morning, it has various meanings as well. So these things have to be analyzed, and we have to totally take the body of what the scriptures are saying and analyze those things in order to come to these conclusions. So when we go elsewhere in Leviticus and people are unclean until evening, again, why is this? We brought several scriptures up to show that. What would be the purpose of that if that doesn't indicate a new day? And why wasn't that addressed during the rebuttal round where it was supposed to be addressed? Those are key questions that we have to ask ourselves. Also, the first day of the week situation scripture they brought up in John actually works against himself. right? But go ahead, Deacon.
Yeah, how the debates work. You give your opening presentations, both sides, and then your rebuttal rounds is to rebut or address what your opponent said in the opening statements. So I just want to bring this out. The brothers was going into John chapter 20, verse 19, and like the brother said, it kind of proves our point better. I'm gonna read Luke chapter 23, verse 54. I think 54 to 56. It sheds a lot of light on the burial of the Messiah, right? And I'm gonna just read a few translations. I know a lot of Hebrew Israelites, they're KJV onlyists, but what they don't realize is that you have to do comparative text to understand the scriptures. And what we put first and foremost is the Greek and the Hebrew, which that's what our New Testament and Old Testament was written in. So I'm gonna read it in the KJV, then I'm gonna read a couple different translations. This is Luke 23 and 54, and it says, "And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath drew on." Right? When did the Sabbath drew on? Because it was beginning to be evening. Look at this. It says, it was preparation day, and the Sabbath was about to begin. It says, this was done late on Friday afternoon, the day of preparation, as the Sabbath was about to begin. It was the day of preparation, and the Sabbath was about to begin. Again in the KJV, and the day was preparation rather, on. And then we continue. And the women also, which came with him from Galilee, followed after and beheld the sepulchre and how his body was laid. So when the evening hit, he was taken and buried. They wanted to get him down by evening, right? So they followed to the sepulchre. And then what happened after this? Verse 56. It says, then they returned and prepared spices and ointments. So they went home, right, and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment. So they went home and made their spices, but they rested because it was according to the commandment. The same context is this evening in which the Messiah was taken down and buried. So I think that's key to collectively add in and make cohesive with John's account, with Mark's account, and with the account in Matthew as well. So I just wanted to point that out and address that because the brothers did hit a few precepts dealing with the crucifixion or the death and burial of the Messiah. That had on the 10-minute round, on the 10-minute rebuttal. Ahlazar, that's cool. I saved a good amount of scriptures for the rapid fire or the cross-examination rounds. We could either proceed or you could elaborate more.
How much time we?
4 minutes.
Yeah, no, we need to go into some of the scriptures now. Ain't no reason to give 4 minutes.
Okay, then we can just keep going. First, I want to point out something, and I want the brothers to, I guess, when we get into the questioning, they could rebuttal this as well. The Nehemiah 13, I know the brother was going into Nehemiah 7, so I wanted to hear him continue to break that down, but I'll bring it out right now since we got more time. A little time left. This is Nehemiah 13 and 19. It says, and it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded the gates that the gates should be shut and charged that they should not be open till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants sat at the gates, that there should be no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day. So I know the brother was going into Nehemiah 7 trying to explain this, but as we see, if we're just reasoning, it stands the reason that it's seemingly making it sound like that the Sabbath is starting at evening when it's about to get dark. That will be cohesive too with the historical accounts of when the Sabbath comes in and it's about to get dark. I want to go to Luke. I'll also ask this in the rapid fire round. This is Luke chapter 4, verse 38. It says, and he arose out of the synagogue and entered into Simon's house. And Simon's wife's mother was taken with a great fever, and they besought him for her. And he stood over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. And immediately she arose and ministered unto them. Key point is verse 40. Now when the sun was setting, when the sun was setting, right? That means evening for you brothers and sisters who don't understand. Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with diverse diseases brought them unto him, and he laid his hands on every one of them and healed them. So, the gorilla Hebrew brought out earlier Leviticus 22 and 6 and 7, where the unclean man is clean at evening when it's a new day. We see chapter 4, verse 40. We see that, the healings taking place on the evening when it's the new day, or we see them practicing what is mentioned in Leviticus chapter 22, verse 6 and 7. So I believe that's cohesive with the cultural background of what we were doing in the Torah. But that's all I got.
Okay, you brother, you still got a full minute left.
Okay.
Now we get time. All praise.
Get into the rapid fire then.
So you want to move to the rapid fire, the cross-examination?
Gone.
Okay, all right. All praises. I don't know if it was just on my end, Deacon, you were breaking up a little bit, so just here and there slightly. I don't think it was my end. I was checking the signal. I'm at full signal. Just wanted to put it out there for you. So now we're about to move into round 3. This is the cross-examination round. It's going to be on the brothers Judah, Macc, and Masharathyah. They get to ask questions and cross-examine what the deacon and the girl of Hebrew brought out. So when you hear the man say go, once again, when he says go, then it's on you, brothers. Let me make sure I got your mics unmuted. 1 second. All right. Ready?
Go. Moss, unmute your mic.
Yeah, so let me apologize because it was breaking up on my end, so I wasn't able to hear a lot of the things that the brother was saying, so forgive me for that. I just have a question again. When you read Genesis chapter 1 and verse 5, and it says, and God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So in order to have a day to begin, you need light. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
In order to have a day, you need night, but it didn't say in order for a day to begin, you need. A day is nighttime and daytime. It's a 24-hour period.
All right, go ahead, Drew.
All right, I want to bring up something that the brothers brought out in the Gospels about Mary. They rested on the Sabbath. Remember, it says that Christ, when was Christ crucified? Hold on, watch this. Go to the book of Luke real quick. Go to Luke. 1 second. Let me find that. Every day. Go to, matter of fact, John 20. and 38.
John 20 and what?
38.
There's no John 20 and 38.
John 19:38. I'm sorry.
John 19 and 38. And after this, Joseph of Arimathea, being a disciple of Jesus, but secretly for fear of the Jews, besought Pilate that he might take away the body of Jesus. And Pilate gave him leave. He came, therefore, and took the body of Jesus.
So when did that happen? That happened in the evening time. Now watch this. Go to where's it at where it says that he took the body of Christ down in the evening, when the evening was come? You know what I'm talking about?
Luke, hold on.
Bear with me, brothers. Mark 15. I think that's where it's at. Mark 15.
Is it Mark 15? Yeah. Let me see. Mark 15:42. Is that it?
Yeah, read it. Yeah.
Start at 42?
Yes, sir.
Mark 15:42. And now when the even was come, because it was a preparation, that is, the day before the Sabbath, Joseph of Arimathea, an honorable counselor, which also waited for the kingdom of God, came and went in boldly unto Pilate and craved the body of Jesus.
Now Christ got crucified, and when the evening, now remember, if the evening started the next day, they would have already been in the Sabbath. It said when the evening was come, that's when he went to Pilate and asked for the body of Christ. So if it was evening, meaning that started the Sabbath, he couldn't do no work. He couldn't go on the Sabbath day and take Christ's body down and do all that. The Pharisees would have stoned him. They're like, nah. They wouldn't have allowed that. They wasn't playing. Remember, after Christ was gone, they were still chasing us down. They was chasing anybody to follow Christ down, stoning. They were still killing cats. So when the evening was come is when that's on the preparation day. So the evening of the preparation day, when it started dawning, the sun was going down, at the going down of the sun on the preparation day is when he went to Pilate. Now let's go to John 20 real quick, and then I'm going to give it over. John 20, when the sisters came, was it John 20 I went to? Luke 23. Watch this, 23 and 54. Read that. Now watch this. This is how you know the Sabbath hadn't started in evening, because they wouldn't have been able to do these things. They wouldn't have. When the evening was come is when he even went to ask for Christ's body. So he had to go beg Christ's body. Then he had to come back. He had to get the body down. He had to take the body to the sepulcher. They had to roll the stone. All this you wasn't able to do on the Sabbath day. They had to roll the stone to close the sepulcher up. You wasn't supposed to do that on the Sabbath day. That was considered work. And they started the process of even asking for his body when the evening has come, according to what we just read. So it was already evening time. So read 54.
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead, bro.
Real quick. Because here we have to understand. In order for all this, your initial assumption has to be true for us to follow this line of logic that you do. Right?
Go ahead.
So let's just return right back to the verse. Mark 15:42. And now when the evening was come, because it was the preparation, that is the day before the Sabbath, right? When the evening was come. So I could easily take this and say, yeah, the evening come. That started what? The preparation day. You see what I'm saying? So you just took it, read it, and you say, okay, that's the evening. The day had already started, and this is just the continuing on into the evening of the preparation day, right? So that's how you just formulate that whole line of logic. But we could easily read the same scripture and come to the same conclusion with our line of logic and thinking. So I don't believe this scripture is concrete enough for you to start to build a house of this doctrine off of.
Okay, got you. Go to John, right before we continue, let's go to John 19 and 31.
You said John?
19 and 31.
John chapter 19, verse 31. The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for that Sabbath day was an high day, besought Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away.
So according to that logic that you just brought out, brother, we know that it wasn't that evening was starting the preparation day, because they said right here it was the preparation day, and they was like, we can't leave him up. He can't be up there all night when the Sabbath come, so he got to come down. Because if that was the case, he could have stayed up there until the next day. If that evening was starting the preparation day, it didn't matter if Christ stayed up there. He could have stayed up there and died until the next day, because That evening would have been starting the preparation day. So we know what it was starting. We know that it wasn't starting. It wasn't starting the Sabbath. It wasn't. Now go back to where we was at in John. I understand what you said. You can use that logic to make it this and make it that, but we just follow the precepts. We just follow the precepts. So what was we at in Luke? Go back to Luke. Watch this. Luke 23 and 54. We know it was already day, and we know that that evening didn't start the Sabbath because that evening they was working to take Christ's body down. So read that.
Luke 23:54. And that day was the preparation, and the Sabbath drew on. And the women also which came with him from Galilee followed after, and beheld the sepulchre and how his body was laid.
Read on.
And they returned and prepared spices and ointments and rested the Sabbath day according to the commandment.
Watch this. They returned. Let me finish real quick. They returned and prepared. Why? Because it was prep day. On that evening, Christ was taken down. All this was going on. The women seeing where his body was laid. The stone was rolled. They wrapped him up a certain way, laid him in there, and then they returned home that evening. Now, by now, the sun got to be down. They ain't do all this in an hour. They returned home that evening and prepared for the Sabbath. And then they rested the Sabbath day. So go ahead, brothers.
Brothers still got a minute left. You want to go ahead and pass it over?
No, I'm passing it over.
I just like to respond to the Luke 23 and 54. The Strong's G all can mean afternoon as well. We see that at 3798, it also can mean afternoon. So I think when dealing with context, that would apply to this context, especially since you brothers believe that, nighttime starts when the sun goes down, correct?
Night? According to the Bible, God called the darkness night. So night is when the sun goes down. According to Genesis, God said the darkness is called night. So it ain't what I believe, it's what I've read, brother.
Okay, so according to that, like I said, if it starts at evening, then that's ample amount of darkness. I wouldn't say that she was out with Joseph until 4 a.m, finally got home, prepared the spices, and then didn't want to come back out because the Sabbath was about to start. I think that's an assertion, but that's my
right. And mind you, I didn't say that. I didn't say that she was out till 4 a.m. or anything like that. That didn't come from me.
I'm just saying.
Hold on. We finna pass it over. We gonna pass it over. All right. So same format. Finna pass it over to the Gorilla Hebrew and Deacon Hakah. 10 minutes. When you hear the guy say go, we got 10 minutes. Just cross examination, ask questions, and when you hear it, ready?
Hey, hold on real quick. I'm gonna say something for you brothers. Hey, I appreciate y'all staying in the spirit, man, because I wasn't sure. I thought y'all might come on and start acting. I done seen brothers flip out. So I appreciate you brothers. All praises to the Most High.
All praises. All right. Ready? Go.
All right. I'm going to ask this question straight up. Is there anywhere in the Bible where it refers to evening to evening as a day?
You asking me?
Yeah, that's a question to either of you guys. Is there anywhere in the Bible where it refers to evening as one day?
Well, if you go to the Leviticus 23 and 32, it tells you that you celebrate that Sabbath of the Day of Atonement from evening to evening.
So it's a Day of Atonement, right? So it's a yes or no question. Does the Bible refer to as evening to evening as a day? Yes or no?
I just asked. It don't refer to that as a day. It says you should celebrate that Sabbath from evening to evening.
Okay, let me read Leviticus 23 and 27. It says, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls and an offering to the Lord. So the Bible is clear The Day of Atonement is supposed to be held on the 10th day. If it's according to you, if that evening is the 9th day, that would mean you're celebrating the Day of Atonement on the 9th day, breaking the law of the Most High, because it's not the 10th day yet.
Can we answer that?
Sure thing.
Okay, cool. All right, so jump to verse 32, Judah. Because he's telling you when to start the Day of Atonement. Jump to 32.
Judah, you're muted, You're muted, brother.
I'm sorry. And it verse 32, and it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at evening. From evening to evening shall you celebrate your Sabbath.
Right, so what it's telling you is on the 9th day, in the evening of the 9th day, is when you start your Day of Atonement. Because if you do the evening to evening doctrine, the 9th day would be the 10th day. But he told you to start on the 9th day, not the 10th day. And then if you go from evening to evening, if you go to evening to evening, and you start on the 9th day, which would actually be the 10th, by the time you get to the next evening, it would be the 11th day. It's not the 10th.
Okay, so just for this, we know the Most High is a God of order, right? So
right.
You're saying just for this is the only exception out of the perfect Most High that we serve, where we have to do an evening to evening tradition.
Yep.
Okay, Ahlazar, anything on that? Anything you want to say? If not, we can keep going.
No, we keep going.
I just want to answer your question.
I got to keep it going. I accept your question, but I want to get through the question.
Understood.
Okay. With Numbers chapter 9, verse 11, it reads, the 14th day of the second month at evening, they shall keep it and eat with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. So we see the same thing with the Feast of Unleavened Bread, right? Starting at evening again. Is this a reoccurring thing? Or, because I know you guys just said that's the only case with the Day of Atonement.
Let me answer that real quick. It says the 14th day at evening. It says, where did you start at verse
Numbers
11?
9 and 11. Yeah.
The 14th day of the second month at even shall ye keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread. It's talking about keep what? The Passover. Now, when does the Passover start? On the 14th day or the 15th day?
14th.
Hold up. It starts when?
14th day. How's
that?
14th day.
At evening is the 15th day. How does it start the 14th day? It don't start the 14th day if the evening starts the 15th day. When's Passover start?
No, that evening, the evening is starting the 14th day. Again, that you're convoluting what's going on here, and this is continually what's happening. Is in order for what you're saying to be true and us to answer the question the way that you want to, your assumption has to be true, right? And if the assumption is not validated, then we can't follow the assumption in answering the question. So at evening is when the 14th day would come in. That's why it says at the 14th day at evening.
So at evening is when the 14th day would come in, right?
Yes, sir.
So the 14th day at evening would have been on the 13th day at night then, right? Because if the 14th day is when the evening comes in on the 14th.
When the 13th day ends, it begins the 15th day.
Okay. So on the 13th day at evening is when the Passover starts.
You're breaking up, brother. We can't hear you. Go ahead.
My whole is messed up. So just.
Yeah,
he seems like I think his computer's overloaded. So
yeah, my stuff is overloading. So when it just does that, you go ahead.
Okay, so let me hold on real quick. Abaya, how much time do we have left?
You got 4 minutes.
Okay, then let me just answer these other questions so I can get all these questions out the way. I brought out the Luke chapter 4 verse 40 when they waited till sunset to be healed. What would be your exegesis or understanding on that scripture?
Give me that again. Luke what?
Luke chapter 4 verse 40.
Luke chapter 4 and verse
40. I read it.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is the book of Luke, chapter 4, and verse 40. Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with diverse diseases brought them unto him, and he laid his hands on every one of them and healed them.
Okay, now what's the question?
Why are they waiting till the sun is setting, as given precedent to Luke 22, where it says a man is unclean until the even?
Hey, Moss, where's that scripture at where brother brought out the same exact thing? I can't remember where it's at. I think it's in Luke. It's where it said that he was healing at evening, like as if he wasn't healing before that. Where's that?
Right. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember where it is.
Okay, if you can't, then that's fine. Maybe we could, if one of you guys can keep looking, I'll answer my final question. I'll ask my final question.
Let me answer that without the scripture.
Okay, go ahead.
Without the scripture, right. I'm going to answer it because I can't remember what the scripture is. But just because he said he was healing at evening, that didn't say when the day started. Now, if you notice the scriptures that we was bringing out, it tells you that day, that night, and then the next day. That day, that night, then the next day. And you know what I'm saying? Just because it says at evening, don't mean that's when it starts.
Does it give precedent? Does it give precedence to Leviticus 22 when it says you're unclean until even?
You could assume that, but you really gotta pull the scripture.
Okay, cool. Last verse, Ezekiel 46. Let's read 1 and 2, verse 1 and 2. It says, "Thus saith the Lord God, the gate of the inner court that look toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open." So we know that there's gate is going to be closed, but one day that it will be open on the Sabbath. Verse 2, "And the prince shall enter by the way of the porch, that gate without, and shall stand by the post of the gate, and the priest shall prepare his burnt offering as a peace offering, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate. Then shall he go forth, but the gate shall not be shut until even." So if the Sabbath doesn't start at evening, why is the gate being shut at evening when the Bible is saying the gate is only going to be open from on the Sabbath day, and it closes at evening? That would have to be even to evening. Ahlazar, if you want to mention that, some go ahead. If not, you guys could. His stuff. Go ahead. You got it.
About that, you actually, I appreciate you. You just gave me another precept to show that the gates were shut in the evening time. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. But watch this. If you read down, I'm gonna read verse 3. "Likewise, the people of the land shall worship at the door of this gate before the Lord on the Sabbaths and in the new moons, and the burnt offerings that the prince shall offer unto the Lord in the Sabbath shall be 6 lambs without blemish, and a lamb without blemish." I'll read down to verse 6. "And in that day, in the day of the new moon, the young bullock without blemish, and 6 lambs and a ram, and they shall be without blemish." Now watch it say, in that day. And when does it start? Verse 15. "Thus shall they prepare the lamb and the meat offering and the oil every morning for a continual burnt offering." So when did they prepare it? You had to have 2 offerings.
Wait, hold on. You gotta address this. The last question he has to address this. Why is the gate being shut at evening?
You asking me? I thought you already went over.
Yeah. No, you didn't answer that question. It's a direct question. Why is the gate being shut at evening?
Because we shut the gates at evening on every day. Nowhere, if you look into because I'll see you brothers put out a couple of books or whatever. If you look into it, the custom of not just the Hebrews, but everybody was they built defense walls around their city and they closed the gates at evening. They closed the gates. Judah.
But listen, Judah. Let me re-explain this, Judah. The Bible says that this gate can only be open on the Sabbath day. And the Bible says that this gate closes at evening.
Mm-hmm.
If the Bible says that it can only be open for the Sabbath, when is it supposed to close then? If the Sabbath is sunrise to sunrise, When would the gates be open? Wouldn't the gates stay open from sunrise to sunrise?
No, because every evening, the gates close.
Right.
The difference is, on the Sabbath, it said the gates would stay open, where normally on the Sabbath, the gates would be closed anyway on the Sabbath day, the day part of it. But
so when do the gates open? When do the gates open? When did this gate? This ain't every gate. So the Sabbath day to you is sun up to sundown.
Nah, the Sabbath day is morning to morning, sun up.
Oh, okay, but that's my thing. This is saying that this gate has to be open for the Sabbath day, not half of the Sabbath day, for the Sabbath day. So if it opens at sunrise and then closes at night, that wouldn't be a full Sabbath day, even according to what you say is a Sabbath.
Okay, watch this. I'm gonna explain it for you. Just give me 1 minute.
Right.
This is what happens. The first day of the week, the gates is open. Trade is happening. The second day of and look, watch this. Trade is happening. People coming and going, in and out of the city. That's what's going on while the sun is up. When it starts to go down, they close the gate. They sit guards on the wall, and they make sure that no enemies try to approach. That's that night. The second day of the week, the gates open when the sun come up. Trade goes on. The sixth day of the week, they do the same thing.
Judah,
hold on,
wait.
This is
No. Here's what.
Wait, one second, Judah.
No, this got to be understood. Let's read it. Ezekiel 46:1. Thus says the Lord God, the gate of the inner court. This ain't the gate of Jerusalem. This ain't the gate of the city. Temple. This is the gate of the inner court of the city. So you're going to have to reevaluate and give us another explanation for why that is, because there sure ain't no trade going on in the inner court at any day of the week.
I'll go back. The same thing I was saying. Those gates, why would the gate be shut at all then? Watch this. If it's just it's the gate of the inner court.
Why did Yahweh go in the temple and kick them tables over?
Because trade was going on.
So what you're saying, if what you're saying is true, then that means it's okay to make my father's house a house of merchandise.
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
well, you're saying that trade is going on in the temple of the Most High God. Is that what
you just asked me that. I just said you asked me a question. He kicked them over.
Is trade going on in the house of God?
You're cutting out. You're cutting out. I think you muted yourself. But what he's saying is that you're saying the gate is open and closed due to trade. The Bible is saying that this is dealing with the temple and the inner court of the temple. So this can't be about opening and shutting a gate for trade, because that is prohibited in the house of the Lord. So what we're asking is saying that 6 days, the 6 working days, the gate to the inner court shall be shut. But on the Sabbath, this gate should be open. For the whole Sabbath day, the gate of the temple of the inner court shall be open. It just so happens that the gate closes at evening. So from evening to evening, or you would have to rectify your understanding and say it's from sunrise to sundown.
I just gave you my understanding. I mean, we can go back and forth.
Oh, you're muted, Judah. You're muted, brother. Judah, you're muted. You're muted.
No, he's not muted. I can hear him.
Say something. I still can't hear you.
Man, I don't know what's going on, because it be happening.
I can't hear nobody.
This is kind of crazy, man. I don't know.
Wait,
I can hear you.
Oh, praise. Y'all can't hear the brother Judah Macc?
I can't hear nothing.
Yeah,
I hear him in and out. I hear him now, but I know y'all hearing me in and out too. So I don't.
Yeah, I hear y'all in and out.
Well, on my end, everybody's been clear. Deke, I had a hard time hearing you.
I can't hear nothing.
Deke, I had a hard time hearing you and Gorilla. You were in and out, but I can hear Judah Macc and Masharathyah clearly. Just every now and then, you guys go in and out.
I can't hear nothing.
Give me a second. I'm looking at my signal on my end. It's strong. It's up to par.
I hear everybody.
Can you hear me?
Still be in and out.
Yeah, I hear everybody.
Deke, we hear you. He might need to come in and go out and come back in or something.
Yeah, I can't.
Hold on real quick. Hey, to the viewers, if you can hear clearly, give me the name of the person you cannot hear. If you cannot hear everybody, type everybody's name. Tell me who you cannot hear. I'm hearing Masharathyah and Judah Matt pretty clearly. I hear Deacon Hakah pretty clearly. Just every now and then it breaks up. Ahlazar, you've broken up, or he's going out at this point.
Hey, they said they can hear all. They said, but it's in and out a little bit, but they can hear everybody. Another brother also said everybody. Yeah, they said they can hear everybody.
Yeah, I think y'all can hear me. I just can't hear you guys unless I'm watching Facebook.
I'm looking at Ahlazar. I'm looking at Deacon and Gorilla Hebrew is not good. The volume is going in and out. I got Hebrew, Gorilla Hebrew, Sicarii. Yeah, I think it's what I'm looking at. Ox is more on y'all side. You and the Gorilla, Deep. Everybody said they can hear Mosh and Judah fine. I can hear them fine. I hear you fine, Deep. Just every now and then it kind of in and out.
Hey, real quick, so we don't go real long with this thing. As far as the gates and all that, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw a brother comment and say, yeah, that shuts the whole thing down. No, it don't. That you have to assume that means that's when the evening starts. That's an assumption. That's when the day starts. That's an assumption.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna I guess the Gorilla Hebrew is coming back in. I was resetting a little bit. What we're gonna do if you want to,
we can't defend our premise. So I would rather not speak on that.
What's that, Deep?
Let me try to reset.
What we're gonna do? We can't.
Hey, let me answer that. Let me answer that question though.
Go ahead, Mark.
So the gates is for the purpose of worship. So you had your outer gate, and then you had your inner gate. Go to Nehemiah 8. Because remember, you had different levels to when you went into Jerusalem or entered into the city. So you had your outer gate, where you might have had the other nations or you doing trade or whatever.
Yeah, we talk about the temple though. We're not talking about the gates of the city. We're talking about the whole temple, the inner court of the temple. We're not
right. So
the city.
The temple was for worship purposes. That's what the purpose of the inner court. That's why it was open for that purpose.
For worship, yeah.
Right. So what's the question?
The question is, if it is only open during the daytime, how can it be a Sabbath? How can it be open for a full Sabbath day? That's the question he's asking.
Say that again.
He disappeared. He cut out. What was you going in Nehemiah 8? I'll just roll with that until the brothers get back.
Thus saith the Lord, hold on. The gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath, because the reason why it was shut for 6 working days is because it was where we worshiped at. That's what that purpose of that gate was, or that location was. And it says,
no, that wasn't a brother, but you got to calm down because there's a lot of confusion going on. So it's not a conducive time to be reiterating asking questions.
Hold on real quick. Gorilla, what was that you said?
Hey, I'll say something because the brothers they just blooped out. They thing and came back on. I'm gonna say something. Hey, the Sabbath
real quick. I just got a link. I just got a text from the Deek. He want me to resend him the link. So while y'all doing it, I'm gonna try and get him back in.
The day begins morning to morning. Hey, let's just go ahead and run these precepts while the brothers trying to get their thing together. We'll just go ahead and run these precepts real quick. We're gonna go to Passover because the brother brought up Passover. Let's go to 2 Chronicles 35:1. Exodus 12:1 first.
All right. Before you do that, since I'm working on getting the Deep back in,
starting to break up. These cats starting to break up, man. Hold on, now I got to start working. Hold on. They breaking up real bad over there. Hold on. because they doing too much moving.
I believe the Gorilla Hebrew, he's still on the line. Hey, until I.
Yeah, they doing too much moving. Sicarii, they trying to stream live. That's why they having breakage. People don't even see that. I say I don't understand. I see these little things. I don't understand why I see the little things. They trying to stream. If you're not trying to stream live, you'll be clear, no breakage, no nothing. But they trying to stream. You can't do both. You got to be just live and just take the information. Tell dude to like give you the goddamn recording or something. But I'm finna goddamn me see if I could refresh this thing because this thing is acting a fool right now. Cause they breaking up bad. So it's gonna refresh for me.
It's not my job to
they still
make you understand what we see in the scriptures. It's our job to bring the scriptures out, and we plant the seed. Another person wanted the seed. The Most High bring the increase. That's the format that God set forth. So if brothers don't agree, please save the comments of and y'all wicked and this and that, cut y'all up and all that, destroy y'all, save all that Power Ranger stuff. And I'm not talking to these brothers on the call with us. I'm talking about the comments and all that. Save.
Hold on. Can y'all hear him?
Nope.
Call it. Turn it off. Y'all hear him? I can hear you. You're a little low though.
Moss, mute your mic. That might help. Mute your mic.
Hear me now?
I can hear. Judah, can you hear him?
Wait, I'll say my question for time purposes. I can say and you can reiterate the question. Hey,
go ahead.
Host, if you can hear me, you can iterate the question. If they can't,
go ahead.
Shalom, my brother. My name is okay. I say it's on the delay. All right. This was going to be for Sicarii, but I'll ask.
Go ahead.
Okay. Shalom, my brother. My name is Hakah. What I was calling to state that if Christ ate the meal on Passover on the 14th, and in the chapter Luke 22 says that. Did it drop?
Go ahead. We're listening.
Okay. Luke 22 says that the priest didn't want to grab him unless there'd be an uproar on a feast day. So therefore, if Christ ate the Passover at evening on the 14th, if he was taken at nighttime and he was presented to Pontius Pilate and killed that day, that following morning, wouldn't that still be a feast day that he died on? And why did they say that they didn't want to grab him on a feast day? So the morning would have been when they finally brought him to Pontius Pilate and they put him on the cross. That would have been another day because they knew they couldn't take him on a feast day. So I'm going to hang up and let y'all answer that. That's for us, Sicarii.
Lee, were you able to hear that?
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah, I think you're breaking up.
I heard.
You heard him?
I heard.
Okay, you want to answer that question?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that's a cut. They said that I answered the question with the agreement. Yeah, brother, I agree. Take my head. Now that's a whole nother class to go into about how the chain of events happened or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's a cut because they did say that they.
How that's a cut? If the 14th and the 15th are both feast days, how is that a cut? They're simultaneous feast. They're both feast days.
Hello?
They're both a feast. The 14th and the 15th are both feast days.
Now, hold on. Watch this. This is what he's talking about.
Match the 14th, and they're worried about doing it on a feast day, but they get them the next day. They're both feast days.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you, brother. Watch this. Let me go to the script. This is John 19:31. It says, "And the Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should not remain." Hold on, that ain't it. 1 second. They did not want to take him. Where is it at? I think it's in Matthew. Hey, y'all can go ahead and talk while I find the scripture. Where's the scripture the brother brought out, Moss? They didn't want to take him on the Sabbath.
All right. For those who, if you couldn't hear the brother, he wanted to know why the people did not want to grab Christ on the feast day, but waited till the next day. And as Brother Hebrew said, that they both were feast days.
It wasn't a feast day you're talking about. You're talking about Sabbath. Hold on. I'll find it. Go ahead. I don't want y'all to leave no empty.
He's waiting for it. 866.
Hold on, the caller emphasized feast day. He didn't say nothing about Saturday. He emphasized feast day. That's what the caller emphasized.
Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold up. 866-718-0557 if y'all trying to call in. Extension 12. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the caller emphasized the Sabbath, but he was referencing the scripture. I mean, the caller emphasized feast day, but he was referencing the scripture. He was talking about the Sabbath. They didn't want to keep him. They didn't want to grab him on.
I think it's Mark 15:42.
Let me check it. Mark 15.
Is that it?
Nah, that ain't it.
That's not it?
Nope. Christian. Take away. Where is it at? I wish the caller could call back in so he can give me that scripture.
All right, caller. If you hear him, call back in. Extension 12.
I can't remember where it was.
Yeah.
866-718-0557. If you're still watching, call back in and ask that question again. If not, I'm going to give him a second.
He's still watching? You still watching, brother? Give me that precept so we can get it. But Matthew, look, let me see Matthew 26:1. That might be it. Nah. Nope.
Not it?
Nah, ain't it.
All right. Well, for now, if he calls back in, you can ask the question again. We can move on to another question. If you guys got another question you want to cross with, we can do that. We can wait and see if the brother calls back in.
Yeah, while he's looking for that, let me ask one. Y'all don't mind. Let's go to Genesis 19.
Oh, hey, hold on.
So I can find it.
No, Deacon is still having an issue. We're having technical difficulties. This is not the format of the debate. I'm not understanding what's going on here. I thought this was calling time. We're supposed to have X amount of time to call. We're supposed to have X amount of time to close. You see what I'm saying? We have a whole nother thing that we got to do today. So we got to keep strictness on time pursuant to what we agreed to. Hold on. Just Deacon calling me.
All praise. What threw it off was the connection issues that we were having. So we're just trying to give me a second.
Great. I'm not understanding what's going on. Why the connection is so bad. We came on here. Is this the same thing? The same setup? This is great. Now I can't hear that. This is great.
If If they stop trying to stream, they could do it a great
I can
interview,
hear
but they're
everybody on here. I
trying
can
to
hear you guys. I can
stream.
hear I can't hear you right now. I can hear the other brothers just fine. Really Hebrew also.
Hey,
y'all can hear me?
If the moderator tell them to stop streaming, everything will be great. That's what's going on right now. Sicarii, them trying to stream. I'm saying scream. Dang, trying to stream this thing live on their side. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You got to just be locked in till they got their interview. But this is the best of the best. I'm finna go back to it, see what they talking about.
Give me a second, Judah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if it's the app or the browser, your internet connection. Mine is full. I can hear the brothers just fine, so I'm not sure. Because it's your connection and Gorilla connections that we're having an issue with. So I don't know what the issue is, but when I asked the viewers who they had issues hearing, it was you and Gorilla.
Man, I want to tell them so bad, man. Hey, man, stop streaming.
All right, that was a D calling me. Like I said, Gorilla, I don't know what the issue is as far as that. I couldn't tell you. I could hear the brothers fine. When I asked the viewers who they had trouble hearing, it was you and the Deek. So I don't know what's what.
Yeah, I've been having horrible difficulties.
Yeah. I mean, understood. What we can do, I do think enough information, a lot of information, precepts came forth, presented on both cases. I don't have any calls coming through at this point. Let me
because it's late. People gotta go to work tomorrow. Hey, I'm gonna tell you real talk, if you don't mind. I wanna say something because I know we're about to close out as we should, because these brothers can't come back on. They can't rebut the same way, and then I don't want to bogart, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to bogart the whole thing or whatever, because I'll start running precepts and then it's like, now this is bias. So I don't want to do that. I want to say that I appreciate them brothers, you know what I'm saying, for even coming on, because I know you asked a lot of brothers and they was running from it. But them brothers, you know what I'm saying, stood their ground. And I appreciate that. To the brothers and sisters that are looking in and whatnot, y'all make your decision. And if you see it evening to evening, then keep that with all your might. Keep that and do it with all your might as unto the Lord. If you see it, there's supposed to be morning to morning, then keep that with all your might. The thing is, be able to prove your cause in the Bible. And if you feel like that the brothers prove their cause, then roll with that. If you feel like that we proved our cause, and you can go to Milk in the Morning, and you can see the full Sabbath classes. We've done a few of them. I don't know where them brothers did their class at, you know what I'm saying, but I'm sure they have a website. It's Sicarii, right?
Sicarii. Right.
I'm saying go and check them brothers out, and you know what I'm saying, just take in all the information. The thing is, study to show yourself approved. Don't follow me, don't follow Moss, don't follow the Sicarii brothers. Deacon Hakah and brother Ahlazar. I don't want to just call them the Sicarii brothers, make them think that I'm tripping or something. But you know what I'm saying, don't follow us, follow the scriptures, and if you see it, follow it. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I want to say I appreciate them brothers for coming on and doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? Now,
all praises. Let me go ahead and apologize to the viewers. I don't know what the technical difficulties were. First time we had them like that on one of my shows. But like I said, I can hear you brothers fine. I know those brothers, they way out in California. I don't know what's going on with the internet. My internet is it's to the top. It's full. I got the fastest internet speed that I can possibly have, so I don't know what's what. But with that being said, I don't think it'd be fair. Even I see now there are callers on the line, but with that being said, it won't be too fair to have those questions coming in at this point, like you said, and they're not on. They're not on. So, unfortunately, callers, we have to save it for next time. But I'll do this. How about this? if you got any questions, I mean, you guys have Judah Mac's information, Masharathyah's information. I don't know if you may have Deacon Hakah and Gorilla Hebrews information. If you want to email them, I'm sure they'll take questions. I remember Masharathyah saying he loved questions. Or if you want to send them to me, and I'll contact the brothers and I'll send them over. And then that'd be a good idea. Send me the questions that you got. I'll send them over to the brothers and try and get those answers from you in one of my midweeks when I come on. If it's okay, we can try and get those questions answered. But like he said, and it's all fairness that if the brothers are not on the line, we shouldn't take the calls because it will be biased. But you guys, y'all got precepts. Now the choice needs to be made, evening to evening, morning to morning. This is what we're going to do. Now that we've had this discussion, unfortunately with technical difficulty, but we've had a discussion, I'm going to put on the Facebook page, morning to morning, evening to evening. And when you go to the poll, please just push the button. No debating, no teaching. Please don't. I don't know. I still don't know how we got to who was Esau on on the question of the Sabbath. I have no clue how we got there. So just vote. And what that's going to do, that's going to show us if this discussion was beneficial in any way. So I'm going to put the poll up. Once we end the broadcast, I'm going to put the poll up. Give me a few minutes and then go to my page, same place you're viewing it now, Abaya Adonaiah on Facebook. View it, vote, so we can see what the outcome was as far as how beneficial it was. If you brothers, unfortunately they're not on here, Sicarii, but if you brothers got anything else you want to end out with real quick before we close, go right ahead.
Moss?
Yeah, I just want to, again, reiterate what Judah said. I appreciate both of those brothers being on there, Deacon Hakah and the brother Ahlazar. I've been watching them for years, so I appreciate it. That's it.
Yeah, and like I said, Abaya, I appreciate you too, brother. We don't want to leave you out, make you feel bad about, saying.
Now, you already been messing my name up, brother. I don't know if you can come back from it though.
I'm sorry. But real talk though, I appreciate this whole venue, this the thing that you're doing or whatever. And this was, I like it. This was, it wasn't no niggerdom where people's back and forth arguing and whatnot. It gets a little heated at times or whatever, but everything stayed, fair and in order. So we need to learn how to do that more with each other. You know what I'm saying? So you brothers and you sisters, that y'all get online and y'all start, and the damn devil, and we're going to destroy that doctrine. Y'all so busy trying to destroy each other. Don't even deal with loving each other. Y'all too busy trying to destroy each other. How about y'all stop that and continue in the doctrine of Christ? Have patience with each other. Like I said, if y'all don't believe what we bringing out, then that's cool. Hey, brothers, sisters, we still love y'all. Do it with all your might the way that you see it, but be able to prove it. Don't just be able, because we done have brothers that say, it's evening to evening, and you be like, all right, well, show me in the scriptures. Now you got to watch this class. You're like, hold up. You can't be that adamant about it, and you can't prove it yourself. So, brothers, sisters, study to show yourself approved. Stop trying to point people to other people to give them the doctrine that you're fighting for. If you fight for it, you better know it. Don't just do what I say. Don't follow me. Don't follow Mosh. Don't follow Abaya. Don't follow the brothers in Sicarii. You know what I'm saying? Don't follow us. Follow the Most High. Follow the scriptures. Follow the precepts. And show yourself approved, man. But I love you, Israel. All praises to the Most High. I appreciate you, Abaya.
All praises. And one last thing, that's what it was all about. We want to show that we can come together as brethren. Even if we don't agree at the end of the day, we still can walk away. You my brother, you my sister. And hey, listen, we Israel, and that's what it's about. All of us trying to get the kingdom. Hey, so with that being said, if you haven't already, go to my YouTube, Inside the Nation Radio, and subscribe. I'm going to put this up on the YouTube for you guys who got the slow pens. I'm going to put all the precepts on the screen as they bring them out. The precepts will be there. So if you want to go back and study and read, they'll all be there. InsideTheNationRadio.com. All right. Well, that's my website. But go to YouTube, Inside the Nation Radio, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the great button. So for the next discussion we have, as we show in Israel, we can actually have discussions. So the next discussion we have, you'll be notified. We're going to have a lot of interesting topics. So y'all do that. That being said, I appreciate it. Judah Mac, I appreciate it. Masharathyah, I say that name clearly now, perfectly.
Hold your head up now, bro. You good.
There you go. There you go. So I appreciate you brothers coming on here, man. Man, I was edified, and I know all the viewers were edified. So with that being said, I'm gonna take it out on one of these tracks. Hey, Judah Matt, man, you gotta send me some of these tracks so I can play, man. I've been hearing some of the music. I need you to send me some MP3s, man.
I'll do that. I wish I would have sent some so you could have played it earlier or whatever, but I'll be holding off because I'm trying to do something. I'm slow.
He been stingy with the music and stuff, y'all. He been stingy and stuff, man.
Hey, I know they probably still listening. If not, they're gonna go back and listen. Deacon Hakah, I said that right?
Mm-hmm. Hakah.
Hey, love you, brother. Appreciate you. I appreciate the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Brother Ahlazar, love you, brother. I appreciate the spirit. I pray that the Most High increase your understanding. I pray you pray the same thing for me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you, brothers. Real talk. I know y'all ain't on here to speak for yourselves, but know this. I love you. As far as I'm concerned, y'all my brothers. And keep it evening to evening. And keep it with all your might. Maybe one day we come down, and if I'm around you, I'll keep it evening to evening with you. Just, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to buy into the next morning. But I keep it the way you keep it. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't offended. You know what I'm saying? So all praise to the Most High. Unity, Israel. Stop with the BS.
All praises, all praises. With that being said, I'm going to take it out on this track. This is the brother Brian J. Morris. He sent this over to me, and I love it. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this track, man. It's a nice song. He wrote it. He produced.
Okay, this is the best of the best one. Shack Boy live in the mix every day, all day. We get it down at. This could have been a better interview. I can't wait till I get myself on point to do these type of interviews because you need some strong computer bandwidth and all type of stuff. It was getting better. I can't say nothing right now, but I'm still on my evening to evening. I don't know. Tell me what y'all guys think. Guys and gals. I know it's gals in here too. But goddamn me, I'm finna get up out of here too. Because I'm pissed off because this could have been a better interview. But Sicarii don't want to goddamn go live and just mess up all they goddamn connection. How you want to go live and mess up the connection? Kind of junk this is. You don't supposed to go live when you on the interview. Goddamn me. Let the goddamn moderator do his thing. And y'all just bring them scripts out. Y'all just was getting heated. Judah Magnum brought out a lot of precepts, and I wanted them to match up with that junk. But they want to be on here live and try to get their stream and bull junk. Come on, Sicarii. Lock in next time. Please lock in next time. Stop the bull jump, man. Lock in next time. Drawing sword. What do you think? Tank gang. A grip. What do you think? Crown takers. What do you think? Ben Israel. What do you think, cousin? Y'all got there me do what y'all do. Because this is the best of the best. One Shack Boy live in the mix. Every day, all day. Where we get it down at. Play it.
The war with Greek.
Shine.
Valiant men we beat like the Macc.
Israel.
Like the Maccabees. Rededicate your temple like the Maccabees.
Come out.
Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priests. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priests. M-A-double-C-A-B to the double E. B-L-O-O-D-L-I-N-E. Levi, my tribe, my forefathers, they live in me. Tearing off the heads of the sin and we toss the lies out to the sea. Just give me 2 or 3 who believe. Zealous in the laws of God. Standing up to the enemies. Bold as hell, we don't flee. We stand strong like an oak tree. You saw the truth, you'll find the key. They stole our identity. Our fathers that wish were before.
Why?
Then when I be talking about Egypt no more.
Wait.
Like the Maccabees. Valiant men we beat like the Maccabees. Gaining back our image like the Maccabees. We dedicate your temple like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priests. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priests.
Feast of dedication, meditating, waiting, on the Lord to come scoop us up and show the world the saviors. Not talking acres, trying to raise the dead. Separate, ordained priest since I was yay high. I dare you even try to take mine. Sword swinging like a Tech 9. Red jeans, know the Levi's. Got some felines, best to be quiet. Scriptures biting like a mean line. Word gate in Israel, you'll be B9. Move forward, no rewind. You'll be destroyed if you're deep out. Take your heads off like Nicky Noah's. Judas Simon, John Name the battle will be deployed. Many are called, we need a few men. Called to remember what our forefathers did. Be zealous and let your seeds tell it. Truth fighting, they so severed. It's wartime, and I'm trying to earn me a purple medal.
War with Greeks like the Maccabees. Valiant men we beat like the Maccabees. Gaining back our image like the Maccabees. We dedicate your temple like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priests. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Like the Maccabees. Lineage of royal priests.
All of our enemies will be for life. Soon the white man rulership will expire. Babylon will be consumed by the fire. Take it.
Okay, we locked in then. Drawing swords.
Your priest like my forefather Maccabees. I got all still lions round me that'll bite the head off in the Greek. We're coming back to royalty.
Yeah, spoken, man.
Well, maybe you should be. See now, impossible to respect our authority, but watch this foolish preacher become the key. Whoa, most I broke my leash like my forefathers will take the lead. And I will love that no consider my past unless it's the laugh at the old me that was gropey, having no image and no king. Till I saw what a man was supposed to be, and I destroyed that be below me.
And I got the correct information for goddamn me, Panaya. That's in Magnolia, Arkansas. I apologize. I should have known that because I have I have property in Arkansas. I apologize. I'm so goddamn me, but the shipment will be to your goddamn place very soon. For keeping the commandments and trying your best over there in Arkansas, like I said last night, goddamn me. But Magnolia, Arkansas, goddamn me, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to have a place to goddamn me stay, if you living in the country. Hit me up, Brick Terror, Affordable Living. We started our business in April, and we just getting this thing off the ground, but in good faith and keeping these commandments and these laws. I'm doing this for my people. If they come through, I'm gonna try my best to get there and give them a place to stay. You know what I'm talking about? One Shot Boy live in the mix every day, all day. We get it down at. You already see it, man. You see it. I hope we could have had goddamn me have more of this goddamn me edification, but goddamn me, somebody want to goddamn do some bull junk on the other end. Stop trying to record when you got there having an interview. I'm out of here.
Everything taught to you was a liar. Wake up.